How's the start to December? Any events coming up? Hey, I'm supposed to be going to fucking Atlanta still. I haven't made my way down there yet. I just trying to get my shit in order with the family out here first. But I was supposed to go to Atlanta a couple weeks ago for this little music
Yep.
shit, so I still gotta go out there to get this shit done.
Yep. All the movements. At least that's positive.
All right,
Man,
man.
this is the first time we've been on live in a minute. I'm realizing how screwy my hair looks,
Your
but
shit look better than mine, Brody. My shit, you got the long hair,
no,
don't
just
care. My shit looking
nah,
straight, man.
nah.
That ain't it. You
I
got
gotta,
the crown. Your crown is heavy right now, G. I'm trying to get there.
bro. I literally sent a picture to like my one of these like new hair people, and they were like, I don't do reattachments." And I was like, I don't have a lock missing. I just got this like random fluff of hair that like
It
grew
just
like
gotta
in
get
between my
retwisted. You
shit.
just need a
I don't know.
retwist.
I like it. Yeah, yeah. I just need to get it retwisted every once in a while. It's not. It's nothing crazy. I'm just
I know
being
how that
lazy and
go.
shit.
I gotta get my shit done.
Um, it's like, but it's a good morning, bro. I just saw that
Yeah,
you were on here. I
like
just wanted to
man.
say what's up. Man, it has been some moments. Like we haven't been
Yeah,
on live in like a couple weeks, bro. I don't know what the fuck. I've been on some, just not feeling the greatest. And I appreciate your messages always, bro. Like you a real one for that. 'Cause it just feels mad. Like not like I've been driving myself crazy, but like just feeling like I haven't put stuff in motion, and then like not focusing on the right stuff. Like there's some things I need to focus on to do
yeah,
the stuff I want to do. Being like an attorney, like having a 9 to 5, right? Like I haven't moved into the creative world to kind of make that work yet. So it's like some of the things that I've been doing, they just haven't been productive. Like I just like there's better things I can be doing at my job that also, they help me do the things I want to do, right? Public
yeah,
speak, help people. Like I might not be compensated at like the highest amount and all this and that, but like that's all external stuff, right? Like I ain't got nobody pocket watching me or people telling me like, oh bro, you fell off. Like it might feel that way because
hmm
my bank account's a little different, but like, am I doing work that's allowing me to like be more of who I really want to be rather than just being a cog in a capitalist system? Yes. Um, are there still improvements that I can make so that I do a better job and reach, a level of, both fulfillment and compensation that I feel is, a
equitable.
little bit more yeah, like of course, like there's also that I gotta realize and do too. But, just some of this just negative self-talk that I've just been kind of like spiraling and trapped in. It's just like, pulling the plug on that, trying to reset the energy, whether that's, going outside and taking a walk or like, some of the deep breathing stuff that we discussed previously. Um, I'm just like realizing I gotta, get some of those healthy stabilizers, let's say, just back going. And exercise too. Like I've just been hella lazy on the exercise piece. Like walking is cool, but like that's not all
Yeah,
that like gets me going. So, I just gotta get honest with that. I just saw I had another um I saw like another old poster like Nipsey's, I guess, and I think it was that like change is the
yeah,
cost for progress. And I was like, damn. Like I'm sitting here like kind of bitching about the year that I had, oh, I didn't do that much, oh, all this stuff went wrong and all this, but like have I really changed anything from when like I was, released from the hospital to like now? Like not anything. Like for me, I did some stuff, right? Oh, I went and got a job and I go to therapy and whatnot, but like, okay, what have I really like
yeah.
changed to make my results better? And that's something that, I got to look at myself about and for, because like, as you kind of right, like you either choose to do the work or not. And I can honestly say I've just not really been doing the work, right? Like I haven't been writing like an hour a day, on my article or tried to do my poetry stuff, what I mean? Maybe it's not, going and being a musician because, that stuff's a little bit more challenging to do than what I can put time into right now. But that doesn't mean, I have to like not be creative or just like give up on some of those like, just personal
Yeah.
dreams of myself, you know, like it's just measuring that too, because I can't go full dream mode and miss out on like, you know, I'm an attorney and I have responsibilities and like that's a part of who I am too. You know, like it's not it's just a part of it's complicated, right? I'm a complex person. I can't like get lost. Just I just had some mental health issues I realized is not being balanced like medically. And I'm just like, yo, like I gotta get this together. Like, you know, just blowing money on dumb shit, thinking like plans that just aren't realistic. Like, where I have no business like thinking, oh, I'm gonna breed dogs and sell them and then it's gonna work out. It's like, bro, like you're an attorney, man. Like you know, like that's clearly going to add like more stress and confusion and other stuff that's like not going to help me be the best me as an attorney that I can be, right? It's something tangential to take my energy and other stuff. And it's like, I'm just, you know, it's cool that I have another dog and, you know, like everything's balanced, but that doesn't mean I need to
Right.
let this idea get worse. You know, like I got to kind of stop the
But you're
bleeding
aware of
on
it.
like my
But you're
life,
aware of
you
it. So
know,
then
rather than fight
I
it.
would counter that and say, is it you bleeding or is it you just giving yourself the moments you, for whatever reason, believe you need at this moment or deserve at this moment? Because a lot of the things that you're doing, especially with based on what you told me about the fallout with the family, back when that shit first happened, when they 5150, all that bullshit that happened, blah, blah, blah. A lot of what you're doing now, at least from the observation point that you know, letting me know how you're moving, is almost like a kid rebuilding himself, like a younger, like think of a younger version of you that all of a sudden has the ability to do whatever they want. It's almost like that part of you that might not have been given the opportunity is just fast tracking and running through the motions. But look at how your mind is working. I don't feel like it's working against you. I feel like it's working for you because as you're letting that inner child, because I feel like that's the inner child, have its moments, get its shine, get its time, move in real time. You then you're shifting right back to your current like adult conscious self, and you're like, nah, that ain't. I'm a lawyer. I gotta do bop bop bop. I gotta get this in check. So I don't personally, just again from observation, if you just hyper aware of it, I think you just don't realize what's happening because you're the one going through it. But it seemed like your inner child is just based on what happened with the trauma point. Your inner child is resurfaced, but it's not like it's dominated you. It's just research because it needed to, because this is how your inner child's healing itself, because it can exist in the past and present at the same time. That's like the adults we see that don't got no real adult shit going on. They just live in their whole child. So that's not you, dog. Don't get it twisted. Your inner child might be surfacing for
Yeah,
whatever purpose, but that shit is a balancing act right now. That's your spirit recalibrating itself. Just for the fact that you're actually conscious of it, addressing it, hyper aware of it, and saying I ain't going to change it and need to change it, bro. That's not like you're not off the reservation or anything here. You're having the human experience. You're doing shadow work. You just don't fucking know it, bro. You're
man.
doing shadow work.
Okay. Yeah, man. I was just like, um, yeah, I appreciate you saying that because, my one cousin who happens to be like the only person I communicate with, he's kind of like not the only person the only person that communicates with me and that I communicate with consistently. He just lets his inner child just run wild, and that's kind of like why, you know, he's kind of in the position that he's in. And like he's my dog, you know, he's like my brother that I never really had and all that. But like now, like I can't say that we're in the same position, right? Like I've done a bunch of stuff to take my adult life
Yes.
and adult side somewhere. And my cousin's dope and I respect like him as a person. But like my cousin also be talking about like how he doesn't have, you know, the motion that he wants either. And it's often because, you know, he's made some choices and not taking some things seriously while like I've kind of just like run my mouth angrily to put me in this position. And it's just, I appreciate you saying that because I was like feeling like, why do I feel, not like
Mm,
I've been out of my body and not like I'm two different people, but I just felt like a different mindset was controlling some of
yeah.
my decisions recently. And I was like, well, what do
No.
I even call that? Like, am I crazy? But like now, like my inner child really was like,
Yeah.
got the
If all of
reins
us
for a
as
bit.
adults have
Like,
things, trauma points, and moments, high pressure situations, that it's like a defense mechanism where the inner child, and you'll even see with people in the corporate world where it's like they get a raise that they might not have been ready for. They go into a higher position, and I know because I was the dude helping them to self-destruct. So this is how I even know any of these stories. Niggas will come to party with me, and these will be niggas that shouldn't have no business around me because I'm like, dog, what are you doing off of Wall Street? Like, nigga, I ain't seen you in a year and a half because you're on Wall Street. And he's trying to regress and crash out because he's like, oh, this niggas gave me $1 million thing I got to handle and this company and this. I don't even know the fuck they talk about. But he's like, let's go to Miami. Now we're in Miami with mad hookers and 8 balls and crazy shit. Bro, I realize what people be doing. And I've talked about it on the podcast before. Whenever we get to the point in life where it's like we're hitting a perceivable peak, there's a fear, there's an anxiety. Not only that, but where do we go from here? But then when you get there, am I supposed to be here? They start having imposter syndrome for some people. Then can I actually handle the load? Like you really start to have internal conflict. And when that conflict gets too heavy and you don't want to just walk into work and quit, you start slowly letting the inner child come out. And what does any child do when they under too much pressure? They do bug out shit out of nowhere. They go and it's like they don't make no sense what they doing, but it does make sense because they don't want to deal with the reality, so they gotta just make a reality different as fast as possible. Everybody got an inner child, and everybody got a self-destruct mechanism. Everybody, it don't matter who they are. The most successful people is just you got to figure out your triggers. You got to figure out your exit strategies from certain situations you might put yourself in. So if you put yourself in and you recognize you're in it, it's just when we get to certain points, it's like life becomes cyclical to the point that we start seeing it. It's like a fucking reoccurring episode of a TV show. That's when you get to rewrite the script. And that seems like that's where you at. You're at a point where you're like, oh, I could self-destruct all my shit, but you're literally saying, why would I keep doing this? None of this is going to help me on my greater mission. I have my greater why. So rewrite your script. You at a point where you're able to self-soothe. And that's what us as children, a lot of us didn't always get the best mechanisms to self-soothe. So now that your inner child's running rampant, there ain't nobody being abusive to him. There ain't nobody bugging out, telling him he's crazy. It's you and you. So now you just gotta like let yourself have that moment that you had a moment. It was a cool moment because now you did some wild shit. You got dogs who think about that's fucking dope, bro. You know what? That's a dope thing. But it's something that young niggas don't want to do. Cause I would have jumped on nigga if I was 21. I would have jumped on full throttle. Probably said fuck everything we do. We go to this dog shit for like 3 months to get there, right? That's me be mad and posted. So I get it. I get that. That's the inner child. Mad, impulsive, running with what feel like the best idea in the moment because it's the most rewarding in the moment. But here's the adult mind. Oh, what's my greater target? How much work do I need to do to get to the great? Oh, I gotta reposition. Oh, I gotta get back to the ground. So you gave yourself, in essence, a fucking break, bro. And it ain't the worst thing. It ain't the worst thing you could have done. Because your break wasn't you going to Miami with mad hookers and 8 balls.
Right. I still got my license. I still
All the
have a
opportunity
job
of life is still in front of you. It's not like you're one of them niggas that gotta be like, yo, my whole life is behind me. Bro, I remember I was locked up with niggas that was telling me that whole story. Like, bro, my whole life is behind me. I'm 60-something. Yo, when you go out there, you gotta get it right because we living through you vicariously. And that shit always rings in my head. So if you having any low point, remember, all your great moments are in front of you still, not behind you. All of your great moments.
I gotta believe that. That's like
if you believe it, you don't know it. You have to know that shit, bro. You have to know that shit to the point that it don't matter how fucked up life get. You like, nigga, this is all part of the plan. The worst moments, you gotta literally be like, oh, this is part of the plan. I don't know why yet. I don't know why the fucked up shit's part of the plan, but this is part of the plan. And then it might be 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 5, when that real big W comes and you're like, oh, that shit prepped me for this. All of that fuck shit was for this moment. And we all have that if you stay the course. We don't get there if we go to Miami and go with the hookers and the cookers, we crash out. But if you stay the course and you don't let the pressure of life and reality crush you, you become a diamond in the end of this shit.
Don't let the pressures of life crush you. Become a diamond. No, you're hella right, man. It's been, challenging because I think I lived a very privileged existence. So like a lot of dope shit has happened to me when I was young, and a lot of like cool, privileged, honestly, like just doctor money type shit. I'll just leave it at that. And it's like, I'm not a doctor and whatever. I'm a kid of this and don't really understand what capitalism really is like, right? And like somehow like a lot of my like most of my family's not had any like real engagement with the criminal justice system. So in like understanding like who I'm supposed to be as a black man, really amongst this group of exceptional people that is my family, it doesn't always give me a lot of appreciation of where I'm at in the moment, like to even have a chance, to move forward another day, right? Bro, I live in LA. Like I this whole thing, the St. John point, like he says he lives because like the extent of power is how much you can have like your loved ones experience freedom was something he was saying. And he's like, he lives so that he can have freedom, so that like he can like reach his hands out and fear no walls and like not feel a ceiling. And like I'm low key in an apartment where I can do that. Yes, maybe I'm paying too much in rent, what have you. Like I can find something to complain about. But like, yo, there's a lot it could be not only worse, but a lot
Yeah.
more unplanned. Like there could be a lot more stuff out of my control, like just stuff that I can't even imagine right now. People that are houseless, people that are locked up, free Jay Burton, right? Seeing Jay post all smiles while he's locked up with 5 people in a room the size of my
He's in a
bathroom that they're
pod,
calling
bro.
the
He's in a
studio.
fucking
Like, bro,
pod,
I
bro.
really had to
He's in
stop
a pod.
bitching
He's
for,
with them. They're called pods. This nigga's in a pod. That shit is crazy.
bro. Right? Like we're still doing that to people. Like not like it's and like I'm complaining about being on the outs, right, by myself. He's in a pod with no choice over the dudes he's around, all smiles, dog. And I know that might not be how he only feels, but that makes me have to check my privilege and just realize, like you're saying, like the human experience, not to crash out, make a choice. You know what I'm
Self-observation.
saying?
That's the
Like,
beauty of it. You
and like,
listen, we go all go helter-skelter for 3 weeks or 3 months straight. But the moment you sit back and be like, oh shit, I'm going helter-skelter, you just put your hands back on the wheel. So that's not the moment to then be like, oh, I can't believe I went helter-skelter. I can't, like, beating yourself up. You did it because you needed to do it. Whether we realize it or not, we need outlets. We need outlets for every fucking aspect of what's going on inside of us. And if we don't create an outlet, the psyche will force the outlet. Then once that shit is out enough, your conscious mind comes back in the frame, and
yeah.
you're like, oh, I don't think I'm moving right now. I think I might need to be still for a minute and figure out my life. And that's you taking the reins again. But that's not the moments and then be like, oh, let me look back at what I didn't do right for the past, blah, blah, blah. How does that help you in the now? And the only time that can help you in the now is if you see something extremely similar to whatever pitfall you just crossed happening again. Then just for frame of reference, we look back real quick and be like, oh, that's what that is. Look forward again to keep it fucking moving and avoid the pitfalls of the past. But it's what they taught me when I was in the alcohol substance abuse treatment program. When I was locked up, I was living in an ASAP house for 6 months. I became a peer counselor by the end of that shit. Shout out Miss Johnson. Shit changed my life for real. The past is meant for us to observe. It is never meant for us to stare. The moment we stare, we are stuck there. Shout out to Miss Johnson. That shit changed my fucking life. The deepest bar ever. I'll never forget it. We can observe the past. We are not meant to stare at it. All you did was give yourself to it again. And there's nothing there because it doesn't fucking exist. So if you gave yourself to the past, you're lost in your mind again. We can't stare. We can only observe. And then we back.
Ooh. Yeah, bro, that's another bar I gotta write down because yeah, I've been staring at my past and what happened last year and
Come
what
on,
all my
been there.
family did and all these people that did stuff wrong to me and I gotta address them and all this. But like that's me being stuck in the past by staring at it. That's not doing nothing in the present because all these other people that I kind of like cut down or whatever, they all do have motion and different stuff, and they're all like good people in pieces. Like maybe I had issues with them, but like it's not, oh, I needed because people are like, you're burning bridges, and it's like, okay, yeah, I felt like that was necessary at the time, but then it's like in the world where we're fighting such an organized enemy, it does me no favors to like start chopping off limbs that got me this far. And I've kind of been doing that. And it's just like you said, like once you like the reason why I'm able to have this conversation and be like, things aren't right, is it definitely feels like what I was doing that probably partially led to stuff falling apart at some of my other jobs, right? Like, let's just keep it a stack. Like, and I got to realize that. And it's kind of like, well, do I want to pull up or am I going to TNT this like I did before on accident? But I can't say it's an accident because I can realize, oh, wait, there's these little slippages here, there. Like, and you're right, man. Sorry, can you repeat that
The
staring in
past
the
is
past
meant to
line? That
be
was a thought.
observed. We
That'd be the
can't
three.
stop and stare, or you'll be stuck there.
To be observed.
It's not to stop and stare.
Not to stop and stare. Ooh. Yeah, bro, you got to put that up as an
But that shit has been helping me since 2012. Shout out Miss Johnson. Again, I got a whole fucking song that I wrote. Literally like the Mind of a Slave song. Let me see if I can find that shit. And it literally was just based on the fact that she was giving me the ability to observe myself in real time and not be stuck in what I thought was a mold or a version of me that I had to be because it once existed. It once existed. It doesn't mean that it does now. And trying to force something or a version of you to exist that doesn't exist is where conflict comes from. Internal conflict, because the conscious mind knows it doesn't exist. You're trying to make it exist in a place that only you can exist, in the mind. No one can ever be there with you. No one can ever share the experience with you. And no matter what, you'll never be able to verbalize it to the highest degree that someone actually gets what the fuck you're trying to say. Because it's all in your head.
And right, like that things in your head are not.
They're not. The things in our head are meant for us to shape and shift the reality around us. Staring in the past means that we don't even accept that there is a reality around us. Now we're sitting in a place that it does not exist.
Yeah, right. Because you literally like, we're not going back and repeating the past, and you're never gonna like get out of it once you're stuck on it. Once you observe it, though, then you can make the present different or not. Like, I don't know, taking some of these smaller steps to, I think, be content with life, right? Sometimes I've just seen stuff, people about, like, you really want to be happy, you really want to like do these things, but sometimes if you like chase that, you won't always find it because you're risking something, right? Like when you're chasing happiness, like that's not something that you just get naturally, right? So it's usually you got to do something, right? But like being content, right? Like you're saying, like, oh, like not getting stuck in the past, right? But figuring out, okay, how do I get content and the motion going in the present that I'm happy with? You know what I mean? How do I fix those internal narratives and, learn both from, I'm not going to just say learn from my mistakes, but just learn from things in the past, not getting stuck in them. That's definitely like a good focus for my year because, man, I definitely was like stuck in my past and I like was wondering why, and I appreciate you giving me just like some knowledge and wisdom and game about how that really is.
You're not crazy. You're literally just going through the human experience. You're not crazy, bro. I was with the real crazy niggas. Like, I remember niggas from H Block. I remember niggas that throw shit at the door every day. I remember the real crazy niggas, the niggas that when they get angry, they have no ability to control themselves, so they get sedated and they punch in the wall so their hands is bleeding, start headbutting shit. I've been around the real crazy niggas, bro. Like, I don't give a fuck how bad shit get for you. You're not crazy, bro. You're not. Oh, I don't give a fuck if you have an outburst and break some shit, bro. You're not on the crazy train. I have been around the niggas that I had to fear for my life because we used to eat in the mess hall together, bro. Niggas from that same block, we ate in the mess hall together. I watched niggas get stabbed, bro. Shit don't make no fucking sense, bro. Over shit like a hard ass Sunday waffle that don't nobody even really fucking want. What the fuck? Yeah, niggas was 7:30, bro. You're not crazy, bro. You're human and you're going through shit and you got a high pressure situation and you come from a family that put high pressure on you. You're fucking human. If this ain't the human experience, what the fuck is? Because everything you're going through, I've experienced. So if you crazy, I'm crazy. I guarantee everybody here that experienced shit. So now we all crazy. So we are the lucky few that found everybody that got the same form crazy in the fucking world.
Right, that are up at this
it just
time
so happened, bro. That's
IG.
what I'm saying. It's just the human experience. And because we live in the Western world, where the idea of like being open in a community and all that shit has been killed. And they like, nah, come talk to your doctor. I'm gonna it's like, what's your problem? I got a pill for that. It's not addictive. Oh, I'm lying. Nigga, take a pill. I feel a lot better. Here, you want this pill? So the reality is a lot of shit that we sedate, we mask, we put Band-Aids on, we try to cover. It just needs to be addressed. And once we address it, we give ourselves the mental faculty and tool to deal with it. Nothing that the mind can't comprehend will ever actually be dealt with. It will just be compartmentalized. Once you have the tools to deal with it, the mind will then address it. Because you can.
Damn. That's like, I never thought of it like that, bro. Like, man, whatever you can comprehend, you can overcome. You can comprehend. Because, bro, like, that's what it felt like, bro. Getting, like, medically incarcerated for, like, a week, like 7 days instead of 3. Like, bro, I could not comprehend that. Like, that was, like, and, like, bro, I did everything they said. I went outside when they said. I went to therapy. I literally did everything they said, and all these people did was, like, gaslight me like I was going to get out, and then that I wasn't. And this is, like, while I was actually around crazy people, like, people changing their names, people stumbling around, like, people, like, screaming and crying, and, like, bruh, not only am I around these people, I can see my office where I made $500 a day from my hospital room.
That's a test.
Bruh, I was just like, when I get
test. Bro, if you don't believe in a universe or a higher power or like this is a simulation to some high degree, if that ain't a test, tell me what it is. Think about what you just said, bro. Think about if I was watching a TV. Think about if we was watching a TV show smoking together. We watched this scene. We all be like, oh shit. We all have a moment like, oh, this is crazy. Look how they doing them. Cause there's no coincidences, nigga. What are we talking about? They had your file, bro. Let's talk about it. They had your file. They know where you work. You think that a person that, if I know baseline psychology and I can help my people just because I put 4 years into studying it, but I'm not accredited by no fucking doctor. These motherfuckers put 8 years into studying it. They don't think that they know how they're fucking with the people inside with little things. Everything is a form and design of control. You think that shit, if you weren't crazy, they was trying to make you crazy. If you didn't go in that bitch crazy, you're gonna leave that bitch feeling crazy. Now, like Kanye West said, nigga, I wasn't bipolar until these niggas put me in this bitch.
Hella pills. That's what they did to me, bruh. This is the craziest shit about this, and this is like another reason why I say fuck the police. And like, my dad says he never told the police that I was bipolar or schizophrenic because I've never been diagnosed bipolar or schizophrenic. But in the paperwork of me getting recommended to the hospital, it says my dad told them I was bipolar and schizophrenic.
If the cop wrote it down, it's gospel. Like, come on now.
That's why I'm like, I hate these motherfuckers, bro. Like, I literally told you, I'm not going to see my family. I'm at home, bro. I'm just trying to eat my sandwich and have dinner. And somehow I got fucking taken to the hospital. Like, it's just like, yeah, bro, this is some like larger fucked up shit was at play. And like, it really didn't matter because I was just a trapped runaway slave number to them. But just like we're saying, bro, I got through all this shit. So that means that I can get past it. You know, and I just can't be stuck in it. You know, and I've just been, and it's been consuming me, bro. Like, this is the week I was dead. This is the last day I was fully hospitalized. It was from November 26th to December 3rd. Bro, I had to go to court.
Everything makes sense, bro. You're just closing your loop off. That's all. You just put the fucking bow on this shit, bro. You're literally in your loop right now. You just fucking said, I'm so happy we got to this point in the conversation. Motherfucker, you're in your loop on a conscious and unconscious level. Consciously, you just verbalize, you're aware of it. Unconsciously, you've been reliving it. You're in it again. You just said December 3rd, ain't it the fucking 1st or 2nd? Motherfucker, you ain't even out yet. You get out tomorrow, your unconscious mind is still in that bitch. So this is your time to let that motherfucker out early,
bro, and
because
so
you're
medicated.
in control. You have the, like I said, your conscious mind is grabbing the wheel. Just because there are moments where we let go and the unconscious mind takes control, and then we're like, what the fuck are we doing? You got to understand the unconscious mind is the true driver. The conscious mind's in the passenger seat. It is very rare that we're truly holding the wheel. And if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, go study just baseline psychology, and then just go study Eastern philosophy and how they approach the mind. The mind they see is being fractured in several hundreds of pieces. We don't really know what the fuck's going on inside of this motherfucker. Don't let the Western psychological system fool you. We don't know. The mind is the biggest mystery on the fucking planet. These motherfuckers just modernized how to monetize that bitch. That's really all that's going on. Like I said, if everything needs to be medicated, but all it took is maybe a week or two of having conversation to get to the root of shit so that your conscious mind can comprehend what's going on, and then you have the tool to deal with it, all of a sudden, the weight just magically goes away. Well, what pill did I just give you? The hard pill? Because it's hard pill season in this motherfucker. That shit wasn't no magic. It ain't no scripture for it. It's just you had to work. You got to work through. And you can't get out until you get through. And the only way to get through is to go head on. We going head on at your fucking reality talking about it. Openly, unabashedly, unabatedly. Of course you're tweaking out a little bit in your mind, bro. This is the anniversary of one of the worst moments for your perceived reality. That's like me every year when I revisit June 16th, the day I went into prison. Just shit. At one point, bro, that shit was like, I started tweaking out for a month before that shit would come, bro. It took me like 5 years to get past that bitch.
And you're hella right too. Like, you can't get out till you get through. That's another bar. that is like, as much as we're talking about observing the past too, like, right? You can't get out till you get through it, right? The things you can comprehend are the things you can overcome. Like, yeah, bro, like, some moments I just really appreciate having a friend and just like a mentor like you in the universe, bro. Because I literally have just like, am I just crazy? Like, do I just like what have I been doing to like, not to like get my life better, but like, why have I, like you're saying, the unconscious mind I've let run rampant as I've trapped both probably my conscious mind and, you know, my inner child in that facility, and just all the fucking medications they give you too. Just like on the whole Kanye West thing, we were in the same hospital.
Get the fuck out of here.
Another trippy, just like, swear to God, UCLA, bro, we're in the same motherfucking facility. I was like, this is crazy, bro. And I have a Kanye West tattoo on my leg too, a bunch of other stuff. But I was just like, this is wild to me when like I was just there. And damn, bro, I haven't had nobody to talk to about this, like, honestly, in a minute. So thank you for just giving me a second. And just like, you know, I'm not crazy. There's work to be done, but just like that conscious mind rather than, hey, bro, yeah, that sucks. Like, thank you. Of just being like, hey, yeah, man, you got to choose where you're going to pull up. Or you're gonna like, you're realizing this for a reason, right? Like me and you are not
no
like
reason. Nah, this ain't no fucking coincidental conversation. The timing of this shit ain't coincidental. I ain't been on live in God knows how long. Now, yo, you ain't been missing my lives. I just haven't been on this motherfucker. Before you came on, I was even saying to the people, I was like, I don't do these lives if I'm not in the right space, because I know the potency and the power of these moments I'm creating, and I'm never gonna pour my negative shit onto nobody if I can't then show them how to alchemize it. If I can't then show them how to work through something. So if I'm in the process of working through some shit in real life, I separate from everybody because I understand I gotta work through it. I can't get to it till I get through it. Once I get through it, I'm back. Now I can talk about everything we're talking about because my mind is open to receive the reality that you're in because of the fact that it's just a reflection of my own. But if I'm too caught up in my own shit, I might not even see it and start pouring more negative. As you pouring out your negative that you need to alchemize, I start pouring the negative back to you. Now you reinforcing the negative shit in your head. Now when you get off the live, you really crashing out like, yeah, I just, yo, bro, I understand to the deepest degree the power of what the fuck we're doing. So hell nah, this wasn't no coincidence. The day that I finally came back on live wasn't coincidental. This shit all happened as it's meant to, bro. And it happens because we call out on a spiritual level, on an energetic level to each other when we need. That's the part of the soul tribe. That's the point of the soul tribe. Because, bro, it's the day before you're supposed to get released. You releasing yourself early. You out that bitch today, bro. Fuck you mean? You can see it now. You couldn't even see it before this conversation. Now you can see it. You ain't locked up in that bitch no more, bro. You out. You out.
right. And I wasn't
You were stuck
observing
in
it.
it.
I was getting stuck in it. I was getting stopped in it. Just like what you're saying, man. Another thing to remember, and I'm gonna make you some content and some stuff from this conversation too, because you're saying some like real dope shit that I was like, it's human to work through issues of the mind. Like, and you can't let the West and Western culture and Americana like think that
The
just
only
taking
solution you have, bro.
medication and stuff is the way to
Well,
solve
here's
it.
here's
Because
my
that's
only
not it,
thing to
man.
say
Like,
to that
I'm
is
trapped in
that
my
the
past. No
medication
medication can help that.
never solves it, because the same issue you had before you pop pill one is the same issue you have on pill 2001. The only difference is, did anyone give you the tools on a conscious level to reobserve your trauma point and work through it? Or are they just telling you your only option is to talk to me and pop this pill because you don't have the faculties to work through it? What the fuck you mean? Bro, the world end right now. We in an end the world
Exactly.
scenario. All your faculties is gonna ramp up to the max for survival. And I guarantee you, I'm gonna see you on the other side of life, motherfucker. All your athleticism, all your smarts, all your indigenous blood gonna come. What the fuck we talking about? You ain't gonna be crazy then. You're gonna be active. What are we talking? The crazy people aren't gonna be able to survive that end of the world because they're gonna still be crazy. The only difference is you ain't gonna have nobody telling you you're crazy.
Right. Just like you're saying, bro, pills don't attack the root of your mental trauma points. That doesn't make sense. So it's just logically, I totally fit. Like that's like this. This is why, like, righteous conversations, honest conversations. Like I appreciate you just making space, right? I appreciate people in the chat. You know what I mean? Like it's important that we form these type of communities and have these type of conversations because right, we're the adults here. We can't just like, oh my gosh, our dads and men never had these conversations and they like, oh my god, they didn't show us. And it's like, okay, stuff wasn't on social media, bruh. Like don't crash, don't, like I said, don't crash out, come up with some like hyper focused critique that really is just a little bit overblown because it's some
Yeah.
you just don't have nobody to talk to. And that's been like some of my shit. Like I've been like, I don't have the mentors or whatever, this and that. And it's like, bro, that's my inner child talking. Like I know there's like some attorneys that I can talk to about things. I know that there's people that do care, right? Like I know that like yes, there are people that like I could make things better with if I want things to change, right? But like we were saying, change
Yeah.
change is the price for progress, right? And it's like that's a choice. Like, and I gotta like not get
Staring in the
stuck
past, staring at the
in the
past.
past of where all
You
this
ain't even
stuff is.
at this moment. You ain't even got nothing left to
Man,
observe
gotta
because you've been
stop that.
staring at it so long. You know everything you need to fucking know. You know everything you need to fucking know.
Right.
You right now. You got your you got a what's that fast track shit in your community college? You fast track this motherfucker. What you talking about? You did a lot of work on a psychological level that they would have made you over the course of, let's say, a year, get to the root of, if the therapist even wanted to actually bring you to the root of it, because they realize if you get to the root and feel like you could do this on your own, you might stop coming and then I stop getting my motherfucking money, huh? Damn, that's the difference
Right.
between the
Exactly.
community.
That's the
That I
whole
ain't
other
getting no
part.
money for this shit. I'm just chilling. You chilling. This was a day you needed to get this shit out. This was a day that I was in the right headspace to help you walk and work through it. You did the fucking work because you was honest about it. And now you're going to approach all these thoughts differently because you have the tools to do so.
And like I can describe them in
Yeah,
ways that are not,
but
I'm
crazy thing, you gotta
crazy.
always think you crazy because
Like or
you
like,
went through
oh,
some shit and you felt
I'm
some shit. That's why if you always notice, I always talk about the human
some like
experience because everybody
non-comprehensible
want to try
shit,
to label it
bro.
as something, but when you
That's the
label it
thing.
as something, you're giving power to it. So the only thing I want to give power and credence to is the human experience. Other than that, fuck what these niggas on the West want to label shit as when they have no fucking idea about the only person that was close to seeing the real truth about the connection between mind, body, and spirit was Carl Jung, at least in the psychological world. And that's why I always reference a lot of his work. And that's why right now, even on the subculture, on a popular level, people are talking about shadow work and shadow journey. That's all Carl Jung's work. But the real shadow work is what the fuck you doing right now. Because now on these nights when you alone and you got to now really dig deeper because you're like, all right, now I got the tools. I might want to look at something else in my past now because now I see how I could observe it differently versus getting stuck in it. I didn't close this loop. You closing loops right now. That's part of shadow work. A shadow is no longer a shadow once you see it. Now it's time to integrate. You're in the stage and phase of integration.
Yeah, man. And that's just interesting to see and to feel, right? Like not um not feeling so like, dang, why is all this stuff wrong? Why is all this and that? Like observing some of these things and not getting stuck, like not staring. Like that is something that, it's just a skill to work on, right? Because like the people that um I've had the benefit of being around, right? They often only show
The
you like
highlight
the
reels.
good,
The
the
highlight reel.
great, the
Yeah.
highs, right? Yeah. I don't like living like that because I feel like it's kind of fake. And like I'm not a capitalist, so I'm not like trying to like get some type of investment. So I gotta show myself to be perfect. I'd rather someone see like, nah, like I can go through some shit and get back up. Shit can go fucking wrong, and I can be a good person, like to people still. Not to say I gotta be, Uncle Tom, Patriot, Americana salute, blah blah blah. That's a whole different story. But it's like, no, like I can stand for what's right and still be the good, bad, and ugly of life. Because I think like it does people, I think, a disservice when we think like, oh yeah, black men just don't talk about their problems. Like, no, that's not the case. Like, oh, like just different issues that I feel like are often like you're saying, just labeling stuff when really it's like, yeah, bro, like I don't think I've had anyone teach me a lesson about how to deal with incomprehensible situations, bro. Like I was literally trapped. Like I did not know when the
Right.
fuck I was about to get the fuck out
Right.
or exactly why I was there. I was doing everything everyone was telling me to do, and I was still getting told I was staying longer. Like this, you know what I mean? And I still had to just wait and play nice, like, and all this and all that, like until I came to a breaking point, and I had to go to court somehow because I was like the girl that was talking to herself and switching names was getting released, and I was like, yo, this makes no sense. Like I've done everything y'all said.
I was switching her
It's just
names
I
and
was.
talking to herself was getting released. Enough's enough.
Bro, I was like, and I was the only black man there. So like in my unit or whatever. Like, and it was just like, okay, guys, like this now isn't making sense. You're releasing people that I'm seeing cry and stumbling around the hallways with all kinds of mad or whatever. People that are like, don't like look at me. People that I can tell, like you're on super edge right now. Like, people that you're having to have way more issues with, and then I'm getting kept like that's because no one's gonna come and get me if you say like, oh, he's having whatever issue or whatever, and you know that they just need bodies in these places that you're charging all these crazy amounts, like, and it's like, yo, the therapy every day there was painting, Brad, like coloring for stuff. It wasn't like I tell people all the time, they're like, oh, you were supposed to see a social worker, whatever. I was like, I didn't see a social worker till hour 100, and I only knew that because I had a
Get the fuck
digital
up
watch
out of
on my
here.
wrist. Like, there's no clocks or anything. And they're like, yeah, you're supposed to see a social worker immediately. I'm like, I didn't see a social worker. I saw a couple psychiatrists when I showed up. They said they were going to chain me to a bed, and I was like, okay. And then they didn't because, like, I was chilling while this other person was freaking out in this, like, room or whatever. I was literally just sitting there, like, like I'm already in here. Like I'm not getting out. I was like, let me just play nice because I'll get out in 72 hours. And bruh, just know, like I was like, yo, I don't know why I'm exactly here. Like, I just got a sandwich and then these cops showed up. You know what I mean? Like I made no plans to do nothing. I'm not trying to see my family. None of this. Oh man, this sounds crazy. Like this seems like a complete misunderstanding. I'm gonna go and talk to him and come back. Psychiatrist never comes back. I was just like, why?
At that
Like,
point,
man,
it feel like
why
you're in a
would you
bad
do this?
movie.
Like,
I know, bro. I fucking get it.
I,
And that's the type of situations that are literally designed to fracture the mind because you can't make sense with all of your logical factors. You can't make sense of what the fuck is happening. And then once everything goes quote unquote back to normal, you're supposed to what? Pretend that entire period just didn't happen? Didn't just crack your fucking conscious mind in half? As you sitting there like, are y'all all dumb? Why am I even, bro? I get it.
Bro, that was like I was wondering, like, why am I struggling with this so much? You know, like, why am I like why am I trapped in whatever? And it's like you're saying, like dealing with those uncomprehensible moments, like that is like I have not been able to like say that, and that's exactly what that shit was. Like and exactly what that shit put me through. And now I'm like, yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like I thought, you know, I'm an attorney and you know, I got these degrees, you know, okay, people are gonna not listen, but I'm not gonna get handcuffed immediately when these cops show up because I take a step back into my apartment when these people tell me not to. What the yeah, like I don't think I'm gonna get turned around and stood against the wall for 3 hours in, you know, the November cold, like in some flip-flops and a dang like tank top. Like I didn't really like expect all that to go down. Like, you know, like if I was really like, oh yeah, like I got all if I was TI with an arsenal, like and I was really like there and whatever. But bro, I really thought this was a noise complaint. That's the whole like I was having beef with my neighbors about me falling asleep having music on. And I stepped outside thinking this was not even gonna be a problem. And everything just got
Yeah.
like to the ultimate, right? It's not even like, oh, you know, this is something that you like never like, bro. I know Fred Hampton and all this stuff, and I still was like going out there on some peaceful shit, thinking this wasn't an issue. And it absolutely was. And it's just like, that's why this is a problem. This that like not a problem, but that's why this is hard to not
Yeah.
stop and stare at, is because it was so incomprehensible. And like, but like we're saying though, right? I gotta choose. Like, I gotta do the work. Like, I gotta not, you know, let my life, you know, or blow this opportunity, right? I work for a good nonprofit that allows me to do things that address, you know, resource inequality and like unequal treatment before the law. Maybe, you know, I'm not, you know, suing the police and doing stuff like I thought like that, but right, I'm still in the game. I still have my license. I'm still an attorney. Like, it's not just some of the things like I was thinking, like I'm just like, oh, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing because I'm not, you know, more out front and I'm not on this list or all this stuff. And you know, that's all self-generated stuff, like we're talking about. Once again, where's that coming from? Like my inner child understanding of what you're supposed to be as an attorney and as an adult, right? Like, not okay, bro. Like I'm an up, not like I want to say, oh yeah, I'm an upstanding citizen, but yeah, I live a righteous life to try to inspire people. Like I'm available, right? Like I'm not a capitalist out here like hella people, right? Like I do good by other people that I don't even know for the most part. Like, and I'm not just trying to capitalize or be a dick to people, like just because I don't know them, right? Like I say good morning to people, I say hello and smile and wave, like you know what I mean? Like not because oh, like I have to or whatever, because I know what that'll mean to just somebody who doesn't really expect that nowadays, right? Like that's stuff I like bringing to the world amidst all my darkness and screwed up stuff or whatever. And like, you know what? Maybe that's just something to be proud of. Cause like nobody does that to me. Bro, the amount of times I just get like I'll be like, oh hey, good morning. People just be looking past you. People just be afraid you ain't doing nothing. You know, just little stuff. And like, yeah, that's how I was raised, and that's just the type of world I want to create for people. But also too, like that is something to be proud of, even if it's not something that's putting hella money in my pocket or having me get on whatever list or whatever, right? Like I can be proud of the person that I am and not trying to hide like the interests that I work for now. And like some of that, like, yeah, of course, they're not going to have the same amount of money, right? Yeah, my job probably also isn't invested in Israel either. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's some things like that, you know, even I had to objectively look at, right? Like, I lost my dream job, I say. But then it's like, I look at it, one of my coworkers who I was hella close with, she got fired too later. Another one, she got fired too. She was white and Jewish, I think. And it's like, both of them were both doing way better than I was objectively. And like, so it's not like, okay, I was probably long for this place, long for that place or whatever. And like, I got to realize that. And that took me a minute to realize too, because I've just been mad and just pissed off, like, oh, I lost this job and this money and da 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 da. But it's like, Okay, well, let's objectively think about it. It's not like they were gonna have me there for more than a year or whatever happened happened. Like, it's I gotta live a life I'm content with. I gotta not get stuck staring at an incomprehensible situation that's not going nowhere, right? Like it is what it is at this point. But like I can't lose sight of the present, that I do still have an ability to affect issues. I do still have an ability to be the person I want to be. But like we're saying, just like, you know, I might not know my like purpose and like, oh, I don't have like a mission statement for my life, but I do have my internal compass set, on the three issues I want to affect. Like I do know like, all right, I'm not like crashing the plane, right? Like I can reach out, right? Like we were saying before, like the St. John freedom thing. I can reach out and not feel a wall here, and I can reach out and not feel a wall above me. And like there's not people around me that I don't want to be around me. And like, yeah, bro, like we're talking about free Jay Burton and everything too. It's like, yeah, I still have the ability to help people like that. Maybe I feel kind of like shitty that I don't have all the answers, right? That like I like, oh, I'm not Johnny Cochran and all that, even though I feel like that type of stuff's needed. But it's like, yeah, Johnny Cochran worked as a prosecutor for some years too. So like he did some things that I didn't feel ready and prepared to do. Like there's some work to change my reality that still needs to be done. Like we were saying, change progress. The price for progress is change. Yeah, change is the price of progress. There we go. And it's like I gotta make that choice, and I just appreciate having folks like you, bro. Like me and my brother ain't on good terms. Like me and my pops aren't on good terms, and my uncles are kind of bougie folks. So I ain't trying to have no hard conversations and oh, I drop a shit here or blah there or fuck the police, and it's oh, don't say that, even though it has absolutely nothing to do with like what we're talking about. And I just appreciate you not being right, like the tone police or the gatekeeper of knowledge of, hey man, if you show up and you pay this 99, then I mean, and I do like I know like man, we got to figure out how we collab. Like I got to figure out how I can support your podcast and other things going on. I think we definitely will talk offline, but it just really means a lot to have a person like you in the community, bro, even if it's digital, man. Like you're on the East Coast, I'm in LA, man, and it means a lot to just have a homie like you, just any amount of time, like just some beyond questions of like, oh, how you doing? Okay,
You know
good.
the
Talk to you
regular
later. You
bullshit,
know what I'm saying? Like
autopilot
that,
shit.
dog. Like yeah, and like it's just like it's a good reminder of humanity, I would say. Just the type of friendship that like, I don't know, me and you have and your mentorship and your style of like coaching and shit, man. It's just very appreciated and very refreshing and it's just needed, dude. Like I'm probably about to bounce out here. I'm gonna go walk these dogs and get this like mile and a half in to just try to start something off, and then I'm gonna get some work done. I'm gonna try to, like you're saying, man. I just gotta choose. Like there's some jobs I can apply to, right? Like I've been screwing up on some of this stuff. Not screwing up, but there's a job my friend sent me. The deadline's December 31st. It's still open. Literally, all I gotta do is write a cover letter. I got all the other stuff. I can assemble it all, right? I can either talk about doing it and then get mad at myself for not doing it,
That's
or
it.
I get that done today. That's the big choice. I mean, just some of this other little stuff, and it's just I'm still in the game. I appreciate the knowledge. I'm gonna send you some stuff later. This is cool, man. I just appreciate you, Kid Works, and I definitely want to applaud and just shout out anybody in the chat. If you feel like you need someone to talk to or holla at, be sure to request the homie, man. He's dope, dope, empathetic individual with a lot of wisdom and
I
knowledge to share, and
appreciate
I
you.
stand on
So,
that. So. Yeah, bro. I'm gonna
yeah,
get this day started and
yes,
just get it
man.
going and get it rolling. Try to follow your lead, making those choices to, not just ignore or let my inner child have the reins. I think you posted something like you got to
Yeah,
integrate the inner child in the shadow, and it's
yeah,
like, yeah, bro, I got to work on that. So I appreciate the reminder and you just giving me the vocabulary to be able to like see that beyond of like, oh, it's crazy and oh my gosh, I need this medication. It's like, bro, I gotta really look at my life and make those choices and have those like, you know, tough conversations, but not get stuck in them. So I
appreciate you.
appreciate you, big bro, for real. Shout out to the chat. There's another message from the
Yeah.
folks at Life is Complex TV.
Stay critical.
Stay critical, everybody.
Lost peace. I mean, soul reflection.
All power to the people.
Vibes.
Woof.